So you've gotten tired of solving the 3x3, so you buy a new cube, and in comes the Megaminx, and you've tried solving it yourself, but you realize that, oh, I need a little bit of help on solving this. So that's why I'm here. Today, I'm going to show you guys how to solve the Megaminx. So the first step in solving a Megaminx is going to be to locate your white side. And so we can see here that that side is actually right here. And the next step is actually really similar to a 3x3. So on a 3x3, the first step is to solve the cross. And we do that by finding your edge pieces, putting them together, and then doing a set of moves to get the cross. And that's exactly what we're going to do with the Megaminx right here. So we see that there are 5 sides around the white face. You have your dark purple face, your yellow face, your blue face, dark blue, your red face, and your dark green face. So you have 5 faces, and you want to get your 5 edge pieces right here to match up with those faces. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look for a white edge piece. And you can actually see right here that we have one. And it's readily available, and it is the white and green edge piece. So we know that that has to go right here. So how do we get it there? Well, since this is the first edge piece, what we can do actually is we can just rotate it to line up with the white face. And then all we do is just rotate it such that it lines up with the green face and the white face. So this edge is in the right place. Next, we can see that we actually have another edge piece right here. It's a white and yellow edge piece. So now, if we just rotate it like this, and then we rotate it like that, so that lines up for that, we realize that, oh, it messed up the green edge. So we're actually not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate that face such that the edge is now on the top instead of on the bottom. And now we're just going to rotate it like that to transfer it to this orange face. Go like that. And we can rotate the purple face so that the yellow edge, the yellow and white edge lines up with the yellow face, and just rotate it down like that. And now we see that. And funny enough, that solved our purple and white edge too. So now we're left with just our blue, our dark blue edge, and our red and white edge. And we're looking around to try and find it, and oh, we found the white and red edge. So we have to move that edge all the way down here. And how do we do that? Well, the way that we do that is first we want to move it to one of these 2 top edges of the red. So this would be the bottom edge, this is the left edge, this is the right edge. These 2 I'm going to call the top edges. So we want to move this over to one of these 2. And we can do that just by going like that. But then we see that it's actually not lined up correctly. Or it's in the right place, but it's not orientated right. We want it to be red, red, white. But right now it's red, white, red. So how do we fix that? We rotate it up like that. And we go like that. So if it's facing the wrong way, we just move it to this place by moving it up and moving it down, similar to what we do on a 3x3. And we'll just move it down like that. And now we have our blue and white edge right here. And same thing, we want to move it to one of these 2 top edges, and we see that if we just do that, that's all that's there. And then we can rotate it down. And now you have the star. So the next step that you want to take is actually going to be to solve the corners, just like on a 3x3. So we'll start by identifying one white corner, and we see one right here. It's a yellow and dark purple and white corner. And we know that has to come here, in between the purple, white, and purple, yellow, and white. So what can we do? We can move it right there above where it's supposed to be. And just like how we do it on a 3x3, we put the corner in. And in this case, since white is facing above, we do R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime. And what you want to do now is you want to find the next white corner. We have the white, red, and blue. And we know that that has to go here. So we will move it so that it's right above where it needs to go, and then insert it just like how we do on a 3x3. And we do the same thing for this one too, except this is in the wrong place entirely. So we will move that corner out by doing L prime, U prime, L, and U. And then we'll move it over to where it needs to be, and then insert it. And say we have a corner here, and we need it to be here. So what we'll do is we'll just rotate it. It's actually supposed to go here, so we'll just rotate it like that, and we'll place it above where it needs to be and insert it normally. And finally, our last corner piece is going to be this white, dark green, and red, which needs to come in over here. And so what we can do is we can just rotate it across these top edges like this, and we find that it's now above where it's supposed to be, and we just insert it. And that's how you solve the white corners. So now that we've solved the white face, we want to go ahead and solve this middle layer. And one thing you can do is, if you already know F2L, you can put in these corner and edge pairs by using F2L. But I skipped over that since this is a beginner tutorial. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find an edge that goes in any of these. So we can just do the dark green and dark purple edge. And what we need to do is find it. And in this case, it's right here. And we need to get it in here somehow. So we can just rotate it like this. And just like putting an edge inside of a 3x3, we would do the same thing here. So we would line up purple with purple. And looking at it from the edge, we see that purple is on the right side of the purple and green. So we move this away to the right. And then we face purple. And then we do L prime, U prime, L, U. And then we put the corner back in by doing R, U, R prime, U prime. And we just put in our edge. And I will do a couple more. And we can just move to the right and go purple and yellow. And we want to find that edge, which is right here. And we can just move it here. Line up the yellows. It's on the right side, so push it off to the right. And then insert the edge. And then say we want to do yellow and blue next. And we see that yellow and blue is actually way over here. And we need ours to be over here. So what we can do is we can just rotate it among these top faces like that. And we see that we got it where we need it to be. And in case yellow was here, we would just move it over there. And then we would just insert the edge like normal. And finally, we still have two more. And now we need the dark blue and the red edge. And we see that that's actually over here. And we need it to come onto this layer. So we can just go like that and move it onto that layer. And then we can go ahead and insert it. So blue lines up with blue from the edge, and blue is on the left. Push it over to the left. And then insert the edge. And now we just need dark green and red, which is conveniently located right here. Line it up, push it off to the right, go like that, and insert it. And now we see that we have solved the first two layers of the Megaminx. Sorry, not Megaminx, Megaminx. Now what we want to do is we want to choose one of these colors. In this case, I will choose red. And what we want to do is we want to complete the red star. And the way we do that is we identify any red edges, for example, this red and tan one, and this red and pink one, there's only going to be 2, and you want to put them into their correct places. Let's start with the red and tan one. What we want to do is we want to first put it onto the tan face, and we have that. And we can see that the tans line up, and all we have to do is put it in like that. And conveniently enough, those moves also put in our red and pink edge. What we want to do is we want to put in the corners now. We're solving face by face. So we want to identify any red corners. For example, this red, blue, and pink one. And we know that that has to go in here. So it's the same way we solve the white corners. We simply move it over here and then insert it. And the way we do that is just like that. And then we want to insert the corner that goes in there, or the edge that goes in there too. So we have the blue and pink edge, which is right here. And we line it up. Since it's on the right side, move it to the right. Do the insertion moves. And then we just inserted the corner and the edge. Now we want to do that here too, for our red, pink, and tan edge, or corner. And we can see that that corner is actually right here. So we put it in, and then we put in that corner. And then we want to put in our pink and tan edge. That's actually going to be right here. So you want to make sure that the faces that you're moving to get this edge to where you need it to be are not solved at all. So we can just go like that, move it to the gray side, and then move it in right here. You can always use the gray side as a buffer zone since it's going to be the top layer. So we line it up, and then we insert the edge. And now we want to do the last corner, which is the red, dark green, and tan corner, which is right here. And we want to insert it, insert the corner. Then we want to find the edge, tan and dark green, which is right here. And so we want to move it over to this blue face, light blue face, since that's in between the tan and the dark green. And then we can see which of these faces it aligns with, which is tan, and we can insert it like so. And so now we can see that we've completely solved the red face, and we can move on to the green face. And there's only one edge left, which is the sky blue and the dark green edge, which happens to be right there. So what happens if you move it over and it doesn't line, or if it's not orientated right? Well, in that case, what you need to do is you need to move it up to this gray layer, the buffer layer, and then move it over a layer. So now it's on the orange. And then you can rotate the orange face like so, and that will line it up. And then you can move it over. So you can just manipulate the layers in order to get the edge orientated correctly. Now we just need to insert our green corners. So we can see here, this is our dark green, tan, and light blue corner. And we can just put it in, and that also put in our edge for us too. How lucky. And we see that we have one more corner here. We want to bring it over here, and then put in that edge. And we see that this edge is in the right place, but it's actually flipped. So remember, if that happens on a 3x3, you just take the corner out and put it back in, and replace it with another edge to get that edge out. And now you can just put the edge back in. And now we see that we've solved the green face. Again, we want to do it with the purple face. We see that this edge is flipped. So we will move that edge over to the gray face, move it over to the green face, and then rotate the green face like that in order to get it orientated correctly. Then we want to get our purple corners, which are purple, orange, and light blue, and put in that corner. And then we want to do the sky blue and orange edge, which is going to be right here. Orientate it right, looking at it from the edge. Sky blue is on the left, so we push it off to the left. And then do the insertion moves. And we have one more corner, which is going to be dark purple. And that corner is right here, and we need to come here. So we can just go like that, and then insert the corner like so. Now we just need the orange and the yellow edge, which is right here. So since that is on the gray face, we can just move it around, put it in like that, and then insert it. And now we are on our last two faces, yellow and red. So what you want to do now is you want to find the yellow edge, the yellow and light green edge, and put it in like so. Now, when you're doing this, you want to be careful not to mess up this face. So even though this corner is on this face, you don't want to mess up any of this. So what you can do is you can rotate it clockwise, put it in, and then rotate it back. And that's how you would put it in without messing up this face. Same goes for this face too. Now what you want to do is you want to put in this corner right here, orange, yellow, and light green, which happens to be conveniently located right there. Put in that, and then we want to put in the edge, the green and light green and orange. So we would just put it in like so. And now we're on our last corner. Now this corner is a little tricky because if you put it in like that, it'll mess up that already solved pink face or semi-solved pink face. It'll mess up these right here. So it'll mess up your red face actually. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that the corner is not on this green face. So we can move it like that. So if you rotate the green face, it doesn't mess up the corner. Now what you want to do is rotate this face counterclockwise one turn. So now it looks like your gray is going to be your top face. And then you can just insert it by pretending that since light green is on the left, yellow is on the bottom, and dark blue is on the right, you want to pretend that dark blue is on the right and yellow is on the bottom here too. And then insert the corner like so. Since yellow is on the top, do that. And then we will rotate that face back down. And so you can see that inserted the corner without messing up this. Now what you want to do is you want to insert this edge, this light green and dark blue edge. And how do you do that? Well, first you find it, and it's on the gray face. So we will actually leave it there for now. And we will rotate this again, this face again, counterclockwise one turn. Pretend that this is dark blue and this is yellow. And we will line the edge up. If it was dark blue facing us, it would be here and we would push it off to the right. But in this case, it's lime green. So we will push it off and do the insertion moves. And then remember, you want to rotate it back. And in this case, we got lucky in that it solved this for us, this corner edge pair. But in case it didn't, and we were left like that, we would just insert it normally. And it would only mess up this gray face, which doesn't matter. And now you can see we've solved all of the layers except for this gray one. So that's what we will be solving next. Now, what we will be doing is we want to solve the gray star. So there are multiple different variations of the star that you will get. You might have it fully solved, like gray, 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 gray. That's good. That's really good. Or you could get something like this, where you have 3 of them solved in a line or in a row, and you have 2 like this. In that case, what you want to do is you want to orientate the gray face so that one of the unsolved misorientated edges faces you and the other one is to the right of that. Then what you want to do is you want to rotate this face that's facing you clockwise one turn. Do R, U, R prime, U prime, and rotate it again. And then what you'll get is a face like this. Now, in case you started with this, you would start here instead. And so you want to make sure that the triangle, or not a triangle, but the 3 that are solved look like this, where there's 1 to your right and 2 to your back left. And then your 2 that are unsolved, one's to your front and one is to your right, like that. And what you do is you do the move again. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. And that will get you your star. Another possible orientation is this again, where you have 3 in a row and you have 2 unsolved. And if you do this, actually, yeah, sometimes you will need to do that twice. In this case, we didn't have to, but you just want to keep doing it until you do get your star. And now what we have left is the corners and orientating or permutating the edges so that they're in the right place. Now, in this next step, the cube will still be on the same step, but it will look different. And that is only because the recording got messed up and I had to do it again, but with a different scramble. So it's just an FYI. So what you want to do now is you want to have your gray edges in the right place. So we can see here that our tan edge is in the right place and our green edge is in the right place, but the other ones aren't. So what do we have to do? We will be using one algorithm here, and it's going to look, and it's going to, actually I'm going to show you. So we want to make sure that there are 2 possible cases. You either have 2 of them in the right place, one here and one to the opposite of that, or you have 2 of them right next to each other. Or there might be another case where none of them are solved and you only have 1. In either case, what you want to do is if you have 2 that are opposite like this, you want to make sure that you have one face or one of them to your front and one of them to the back right. And then you want to move over. So it looks like this now. And then you want to do, so now you have one facing to your right, bottom right, and one facing to your top left. And what you want to do is R, U, R prime, U, R, U2 prime, R prime, U. And you'll see that if you do that, you might get, if you rotate the gray face, you'll see that you get 2 solved ones that are now next to each other. So you want to have them to your bottom right and your top right. So in case you were wondering, this is bottom right, top left, bottom left. And you want to have them to your bottom right and top right, and then do it again. Right, R, U, R prime, U, R, U prime twice, R prime, U. And if you do that, you'll see that you have solved your edges. And sometimes it'll lead you to the same case where only these 2 are solved, but the other ones aren't. In case that happens, you just have to do it again. And in case if you don't have 2 that are solved at all, and you really only have 1, you just want to do that move wherever you want. And then it will lead to at least 2 being solved. And so now what you want to do is you want to solve the corners. And so we will go ahead and solve those next. So in order to solve the corners, first we have to orientate them so that the gray is on top like that. Now, of course, we're not going to be flipping corners. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put gray on the bottom, and we're going to look at it like this. And so if we look at it like that, what we can see is, we just see a bunch of unorientated corners. So you just pick one. In this case, I will pick this. And you just want to do R on the right side. You just want to do R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime. If you see that, you just do that until the gray faces the bottom. Then you rotate the bottom face, and then you do the same thing. And you can see that gray faces the bottom. Do that again. And you can see that gray doesn't face the bottom, so you want to do it 2 more times until it does. And it does. And then we finally do it here. And if you did it correctly, you'll have all your grays facing the right direction, and your edges will still be right, but now you see that your corners aren't really where they're supposed to be. And you want to make sure that when you're doing that move to orientate them right, you're only going to move this way, or whichever way that you picked originally, and you're only going to be doing this move. You don't want to do a cube rotation, otherwise that'll mess you up. You only want to rotate that bottom layer. So next, we have to permutate these corners. So in order to permutate these corners, what we have to do again is we want to make sure gray is on the bottom, and we pick any of these corners. In this case, none of them are solved, so we'll just start with this one. What we want to do is we want to go R, U, R prime. That moves a corner out, and we just rotate the bottom layer until this bottom corner right here is where that's supposed to be. So this is supposed to be in between gray, orange, and light green. And so that is going to be right here, gray, orange, and light green. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the opposite move of what we just did. So R, U prime, R prime. And that will put the corner where it's supposed to be. And now you see that we have another corner over here. This is pink and tan and gray. So that goes right here. We want to go R, U, R prime. And we see that that's moved a corner over here, which is the orange and light blue, which goes right here. And you want to go R prime, or not R prime, R, U prime, R. And you see that we have a corner here, which is a pink and green and gray, which it goes here, R, U, R prime. We have one last corner, the gray, light blue, and tan. That goes right here. So if it's in the top left like that, go R, U prime, R prime. And we can see that that has solved the gray face, and by doing that, we have solved the entire Megaminx. So that's it. You've solved a Megaminx. So now that you've solved a Megaminx, go ahead and keep solving until you can get pretty decently fast. And if you guys have any questions at all about solving the Megaminx, or if you have any future video suggestions, I suggest that you drop them down in the comment section below. And yeah, make sure to consider subscribing if this was a helpful video, and if you want more videos like these in the future. And make sure to leave a like if this video has helped you. And until next time, I'm Cubing Cluck, and I'll see you later.